My name is Bobby Carmona. Today is October 25th, 2018. This is my week 8 video submission. I will be dissecting a eyeball of a cow and explaining the different components. To begin, I'll have all my necessary PPE and the eyeball here on the table. I will be utilizing a scalpel, tissue forceps, and straight scissors. So to begin, I will just make a small incision into the fat. This is the posterior of the eye. And again, I'm just cutting into the fat. This is actually the optic nerve that's protruding from the back of the eye. But again, I am going to try to cut away for all the fat here. I think a scalpel will be best. I really don't want to cut into any of the interior chambers. The actual fat is very tough. You can see it actually coming apart in different segments. Kind of having a hard time trying to figure out the best way to remove it all. I'll try to make a firmer incision. Trying to stay safe and not cut myself. But again, the fat portion of the eye is very tough. Almost meat-like. You can see it is starting to come away. Okay, sorry for the intermission. I had to take a brief moment to try to cut the fat from the eyeball. We can actually see the optic nerve here a lot better, and over here in this area you can see all the fat that I cut away. I'm actually still cutting away a little bit of the fat here just to better expose the optic nerve. This is the posterior view of the eyeball, and this is the anterior view. I will be taking a picture here demonstrating the lateral view of the eye here. Okay. Alright. Now I will be cutting the eye here to, which is the cornea, and it will be actually leaking some fluid, so I will use this napkin here and I will begin cutting it here. It's still very tough. You can see the layer here. I'll try to keep cutting alongside of it. You can see the layer here that I've cut into. Okay, so now I will continue by cutting right down the middle and creating the anterior and posterior view. The eyeball was a little squished in transit, but again, I'll do my best to cut right down the middle here. It's still very tough. And you can see the liquid. I should be using the tissue forceps, but it's actually a little bit easier this way. You can see the gelatinous material inside. Let me complete the cut. Alright, so I actually had a good cut because I can actually see all the positions here. Let me just finish. There's still a little bit of fat left. And it's still very tough. Let me actually use the scissors in this part here. There we go. So we have the posterior and the interior here. Now you can actually see the retina in this section here. And also in the back portion here. The optic disc is actually located in the back. So now I will be cutting into the interior of the vitreous chamber. Alright, so let's do that here. Trying to get this section here. So, let me actually see if I can do this. Alrighty. And then, let's see the way I want to do this. Try not to damage the iris. Okay, I'll continue cutting in here, the cornea. Okay, so I had to take another break just to cut away the material. You can see the posterior back of the eyeball. This is the middle section, and this is the anterior with the gelatinous material in the middle. Next section, I will be taking out the cornea, the sclera, and the iris, and the lens, so that way you can see that. Okay, last break. I was able to take away the iris and the cornea. You can see the different sections here and the lens there. It was very difficult, to be honest. I had a hard time trying to figure out the best way to take out everything without ruining the eye, but all in all I was able to learn a lot. The optic disc is actually my favorite just because of the color, but that's just my personal opinion there. So thank you very much for watching the video.